Alright, I have returned. And I think I was settling on committing this and abandoning the other pull request here. So we're going to make branch. What have we done? We have added some checks to prevent earning scrapper XP when we're not playing. And we clarified some comments here. We added an is playing method for the game manager. So this is going to be prevent earning currency after game end. Branch names can be long. Alright, that's the main thing we're doing here. Yeah, exactly. So get that pushed up. I'm going to abandon, like I said, this pull request. This is a very involved thing, which is totally valid. I think maybe this would do what I asked it to do. Should not be able to detect zombies interact with the hotbar, but I don't think that I actually care about that after all. So we're going to close this. And we're going to go a different route. Great. Alright, and then we have add optional sound effect debug display with aggregation. Okay, we can rebase this, so that's good. Let's do that. And we'll check out this PR. So Copilot had a suggestion. Test manual test sound effect display manual.gd. What? If it's a test manual, why is it a GE file? Oh, there's a scene. The idea being that you run the scene and you can interact with it. Okay. Cool. I may just delete all that. Nope, don't delete that. That's my reference for the thing that we're gonna go back to after we get through these reviews. We got a bunch of sound effects to do, so we'll work on that. Soonish. It only bothers me slightly that some of our directories are lowercase and some are uppercase. Git pull. Okay, cool. Alright, so I think maybe the first thing to do is just run it. Yeah, reload from disk. Stop game. Projects. Just fully reload. Okay. So the idea with this feature is that we can run the game. Actually, before even doing that, does this work in our soundboard? No. It doesn't have the UI elements for that. And I guess I could, but it's kind of unnecessary. That's not the point of the soundboard. Okay, so if we go to test scenario. I don't hear sounds yet. Oh, I do hear sounds. Oh, right, we have to turn on the thing. And I think it's, first of all, let's turn down audio. Oh, the music is paused. The music is paused when we're paused? That... shouldn't be the case. Anyway, I think it gave it... What was the key? Press F11. So you say. 10, 11. Does nothing. Okay, cool. Maybe let's look at our settings. Input map. FPS. Toggle sound effects is F2. F11. Okay. Wait, is that the right thing? Suddenly we've accumulated a lot of key bindings. Maybe that's that. Let's find out. Yes. Yep, player attack hit, survivor death, zombie idle. UI hover. Great. So let's go to the test scenario. Oh right, we have to turn it on. Oh, there. Behold. Not exactly what I was envisioning, because I was envisioning that the, I mean, one thing is, destroyed, like the effects should go, okay, they do eventually go away, okay, that's fine, okay, this basically does what I wanted it to do, which also, audio. Let's turn all of this way down. Okay, let's just get rid of the music. Speaking of music. Oh, it's still there. Okay. It was just drowned out by everything else going on in that scene. So that seems fine. Did something change? No. Okay. I mean, something changed at some point, because I'm pretty sure that at one point I was able to go into the settings and hear sound, at least the music playing. Also, what? That's despite the fact that we have all of these ignores over and over and over again. Okay, that one was not already checked in. Great. So first of all, how do I want to do this? Git log. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do with this PR is that we're gonna commit this, and then I'm gonna do a squash merge. Have I turned off? I might have turned off the ability to do squash merges on this. Optimize enum name lookup. Okay, fancy, probably unnecessary, whatever. Okay, we're gonna get. Get this committed. Okay, well, none of this is ever going to happen, so that directory is just going to go away. Is there something in here about... Okay. Copilot sure does like to add these markdown files, and I don't... Aha. This is in... Oh, it's a README inside of here. Okay. Do I want to keep this? No, not really. That's weird. Anyway, let me go to the repo settings here, and we'll enable the ability to squash merging. Yeah, not autosaves. Okay, so let's see. Can we? Yeah, let's yeah, merge that. Great. And here we go. This is the PR that we were looking at, which works, other than the fact that it adds a bunch of stuff that we didn't want, including this thing that I left a comment on. Go ahead and update the branch, and we will squash and merge. Because if we did a rebase and merge, like if we took those commits as they were, even though we removed like the zip file for the Godot binary and all that stuff, there would still be the commits where it was added would have all the data, and then we would have another commit where we removed it. So it's just extra data that we're keeping in version history. And for what? And yeah, if I wanted to not do squash merging, I could go back and revise the, like do a rebase or something and like remove the files. But I'm not going to, because that's possible, but I'd have to like remember or ask Google or AI or something how to do that, and I'm not. I don't think it's worth it. Okay, we have one more thing to look at, and then we'll go back to sound effects. So add text tree button to main HUD with pause integration. So let's just pull down this and see what this does. The idea is that I want to be able to get to the tech tree without having to pause the game by hitting pause, clicking the tech tree button, I would like a button in the game that also pauses the game to take me to the tech tree. Right, so if we launch the game. If I start the game, that's fine, that's normal. So we have a button here called tech tree. Do I want that there? Okay. But it does pause the game. I can unpause the game in the tech tree though. Okay. This has some bugs. Right, so if I do it the normal way, right, I can pause the game, or I can hit escape, which also pauses the game. Also, apparently you can unpause the game from the pause menu. Also, you can unpause the game from the tech tree. You can... Okay, I don't know. Let's stop. How broken was it before? Before I indict this. I don't think I've tested all that well this bit of functionality around getting into the tech tree, right? Let's go to our test scenario so we won't instantly die. If I hit Y, okay, so I guess the key combo to get to the tech tree was new. Okay, but I can hit escape. I can unpause from the pause menu. I can unpause from the tech tree. How much does it bug me that you can unpause the game on the pause menu with the menu open? I think this might not okay, but it's made worse by the fact that it says paused right here when obviously the game isn't paused. So how does this work? So we go in the project settings and the input map, and we look for, so escape is there. What is looking for space? Toggle pause. Okay, great. Toggle pause. There we go. Speed controls. So I think it's the speed controls scene. Yeah. So the speed controls, I think, are the thing. Okay, yeah, like, so if we look at speed controls TSCN, process. Pausable instead of inherit. How does this work, right? So if we go to the main scene, that one. And then where are the, oh, that's inside of UI. Yes, of course. We have the speed controls. So probably the speed controls should, so the UI definitely should have process set to always or inherent, and I guess the main scene, which is now closed. No, it's right there. Process mode inherit. It seems weird. Anyway, let's just try it. So if we go to our test scenario and we hit escape. Oh, right, of course, because so there, tech tree takes us there. It no longer interacts with the pause menu, not the pause menu, the speed controls. That's what was happening, is that the speed controls were always running because they're inheriting that from somewhere. And so they would receive the space event, the key press, and then resume the game. So that's a thing. So like when we're in the tech tree, yeah, I'm pressing the tech tree button. That's what's happening here from the pause menu. But I'm no longer interacting with this, but from, oh. Unfortunately, that means once you're paused, you can't hit space here. You can't interact with this at all. So when... So when we hit escape the second time and we're going back to game state change to playing, we need to unpause because that is otherwise not happening. Because normally that would happen because you hit space, or no, you hit. Hold on. Let's try something really quick. How do things work? If I hit space here to pause, now I can't unpause. Okay, so we need to not do what I just did. We can't make the speed controls pausable. Instead, we need the pause button to respect the game state. Like if we're in the game, if we're in the menu, then it shouldn't unpause. Okay, so we just look at, wait. So presumably the speed controls script hooks onto the pause button. Yeah, so on pause pressed. So if game manager dot is playing, then we can toggle pause. And the other things are fine. I think it's fine to like pause and then be able to change the game speed and then unpause. Right, so now I can pause and unpause. If I hit escape, if I'm running, I hit escape, and then I hit escape again, we stay paused. We don't unpause. If I go to the tech tree and I hit space, you can see that this is activating. Ideally, it would not, but it doesn't change anything because we're in the menu. Okay. Do I... So what did we change? What did the AI change in this this pull request here? So it made it so that you can... Wait, here's a question. How does it work now? If we go to the UI, is the tech tree... So here's the tech tree scene. How does the tech tree get added to the UI? Maybe not here. Maybe pause menu? TSCN? So we have tech tree button. Tech tree button has a connection to on tech tree pressed, which calls on... Okay, great, sure. Are multiple things calling that? Okay, so you could just do this. So we say, hey, if tech tree UI is null, we instantiate the scene, we add it to the pause menu, and we say, hey, when we close the UI here, also close the tech tree. Okay, interesting. So, I think I might change this a little bit. So right now we have these two states. We have playing and in-game menu. So in-game menu is the pause menu. I think I might want to add another state that will be showing the tech tree. And that will be another not playing state. And that will mean that we will, like, okay, so show menu, hide menu. Do multiple things call this? Does anything call this? I mean, we have this where it's talking about settings menu, but that's not, that's a different UI. Yeah, that's different. Okay. So really, this and this is what's happening. Okay, so I'm gonna proceed with the thing that I just said, which is that we're gonna have a separate game state for in tech tree for this. I won't do the same for achievements yet. But the tech tree specifically is something you are going to want to be able to open and access in the game, and so it needs to be a more straightforward experience than let me pause the game, and in the menu there's the tech tree, and you go into that. You know, I want it to be like one click away or have a hotkey. Like in that other PR that I'm not going to merge because that adds some other problems, which is why I'm doing this, because I think this will make things better. So hopefully adding another state won't break things. I think it won't. What we're going to do is we're going to say if we have GameManager.GameState.inTechTree, visible also needs to be true, but we want to so this function is going to go away. We're going to, let's in fact go ahead and remove tech tree button. There we go. It's no longer an option here. So this is going to be show tech tree. I don't know, there's something to be said for too much logging here. So when the game state changes to in tech tree, we make the pause menu visible, which is necessary because the tech tree is going to be a child of it. We don't have to do it this way. Like, what I could do is I could take the functionality from the pause menu. There's something to be said for the idea of, yeah. Okay, so let's not do this here. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to make the tech tree kind of like at the same level as the pause menu, where boop. So tech tree here, it has a script, which is this guy here, and we are going to do some things. Connect to the game manager. So what we want to do is something similar to what we've done in the pause menu, where we want to, I'm just going to take literally this bit of code, and we're going to add this, and we're going to implement a function that is going to do exactly what we're doing in the pause menu. Oh, match, not switch, match. So if we're in the tech tree, we should be visible, and the close button will get focus, I guess. And if we're playing, yeah, that's fine, because that'll be, think of like this there's a finite state machine, right, of like all the different states. There's not that many, right? It's 6 or 7 or whatever, but from where we are in the tech tree, really the only other state we can go to is playing, which is the state in which the game is visible and the pause menu is not up, but the game could be running or paused. The game being paused is separate from the game showing the pause menu, right? So in other words, actually this is going to be broken maybe, but we'll click here. Yeah, so we can pause the game. That's different from having the pause menu open, right? Anyway, okay, so we're going to have on game state changed. So when we're in the tech tree, we show the tech tree. I think we can maybe just get away with a lot of things here. So this signal closed, we presumably emit, but we are not going to do that anymore. We are going to say game manager dot set game state state playing, right? So at that point, that will cause our state to change, which then will cause this function to be invoked, which will make this node no longer visible, right? And so we can look for everything where we talk about tech tree and just remove that. Tech tree. Stuff. We no longer need to refer to that scene. We don't need the button. We don't need tech tree UI. Great. That's all stripped out of the pause menu. And maybe we end up doing something similar with achievements at some point as well, if we want to have that more like closer to the game. Anyway, then we need to go to the UI, right? And we need to take the tech tree. Let's see, where in, okay, there's the scene. And we want to go to the UI and we want to take the tech tree scene and put that into the UI. But not visible. All right. So then if we go to project settings, I want to add a keybind, right? To be able to show the toggle the tech tree. Just like we have toggle in-game menu, I want to be able to toggle the tech tree. So we're going to create a new toggle tech tree. Check on the music. What's going on here? Okay, it was stuck for some reason. So we'll add this toggle tech tree and toggle tech wherever it went. It is alphabetical, maybe. Toggle speed, stats, FB, sound, filter, toggle, tech, tree, didn't add. I thought I clicked add. An action with this name already exists. Then why don't I see it? Project, reload current project. It did in that PR that we're looking at before, so I think we just have stale info. So now in the input map, if I filter, yeah, it doesn't exist. Add an action. There, now it exists. Hey, brainless. Hello, hello, good morning. We're gonna add a keybind, and I'll make it Y because that's what it was in the PR. That we're not going to be merging. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yes. I might honestly lose track of days of the week if it weren't for the streams and the stream schedule. Anyway. All right, so okay, we have that action. What we need is I think in the maybe in the UI script is where we're handling. Yeah, there we go. All right, so if input if toggle tech tree game manager dot set game state in tech tree. Doing all right, making some changes to one of the libraries I've been working on. How about me? Yeah, I think there's a little drip of coffee left. And it's gone. Doing all right. Just another day. still enjoying freedom, mostly from work. Had to check in on a thing or two, and there's still one or two other things that I'll have to check in on while I'm on PTO, but that's fine. So if hit Y, so that does not pause the game. Also, we didn't implement Y needs to toggle. Okay, so yeah, so this needs to be, well, first of all, yeah, let's just make this toggle text tree, and we'll implement that function. No. Oh, I see. And the other ones we call toggle visibility on the thing, but they're not hooked into the game manager state. Whereas we've explicitly made this part of game manager state. So I guess we do something like if game manager that current state is in text tree, we switch it back to playing. So this way we can toggle. You got, oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You got the Elixir chatbot for TF2 integration working last night. Still is polishing, but does the bare minimum. I'd be curious if, I don't know if it's something that you would want to put like on GitHub, or if Sneaky Spudsworth is going to be using it, if he would be okay with it being like open source or at least visible. But I would be interested in seeing what an Elixir chatbot looks like and how you implemented it, given my past attempt. All right, let's reload and see if how this does. I think there's some tweaks because the like ordering of the UI. But yeah, we can toggle this. It doesn't pause the game, which it really should. So if we are not in the tech tree, we should pause the game before we go into the tech tree. And then you said you can add me as a collaborator. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, in GitHub. Yeah, I think so. So you would do like. Also, I'm closing this PR. We're not merging this. Like you would go to settings, and then you would go to collaborators, and then you would need to be me, and then add people, and then you would add Sabin, but I'm already Sabin. Add to repository, and you'd be able to give you'd be able to control access as well. Yeah. No worries. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm very curious about someone who I think knows what they're doing in Elixir land, what you would build. And please don't take that as it has to now be perfect to share it with me to show what perfect code is. I just mean I felt pretty uncomfortable with how I was trying to apply patterns. Fair warning, use the Twitch library for the connection. Sure. Is it using, I mean, IRC I think is not a thing anymore. Is it like a WebSocket connection to Twitch, or is it, oh, it is IRC. I thought they're deprecating that. What I ended up doing for the thing that's capturing chat right now, actually, and will be able to interact like a bot, is actually use their event sub. So it's like a webhook where it calls my HTTP endpoint, and then I can call the API rather than having like an ongoing connection. So I think when I get around to doing a bot, that's what I'll be doing, is just interacting that way rather than maintaining a persistent connection. All right, so if we go into the test scenario, I hit Y. That pauses the game and takes us to the tech tree. Now, the text tree needs to be higher. I think that means it needs to be at the bottom, but not in debug control. There we go. All right, so ta-da! We have a text tree that's accessible. If I hit escape, okay, that's a little bugged. Okay, I can pause and continue. That's good. I think we need to make the close button on the text tree respond to escape, and I wonder if we can make it so that it will eat the input. Shortcut. Okay. And we can specify an event. And it will be input event action. It's very nested. Action will be whatever action we called it. Boop, boop, toggle. Is it toggle in in-game menu? It's not toggle pause because that's space. It might be toggle in-game menu. Strength. Event index. Okay. Shortcut feedback, shortcut and tooltip. Shortcut. Okay, let's try that. So if I hit Y, that'll pause the game. If I hit escape, I can resume. I can go back to the text tree. I can hit escape. So I'm hitting escape now. And we are kind of stuck in the menu. Because so I think game state change to playing is us. That's weird. Let's look at the game manager. What are we logging? Pausing game. ... So something is calling pause game. I'm not sure why. So if current state is in-game menu, set it to playing. Else if current state is game state dot in text tree, set game state to playing. See if that fixes things. Also, if we're doing this, then we should just use match, right? Like that. Okay, so if I hit this and then we hit escape, pausing game, game state change to in-game menu. Okay, I don't think we're there. What else can call pause game? Also, let's add a logger to this. What else can call pause game? Anything else in here? No. Anything else in the world? Speed controls can call it. UI can call it. Ah. So let's add a logger here. Trying to understand what's happening. So, scenario is we play, we hit Y, that pauses the game, brings us to the tech tree. Then if I hit escape, game state changes to playing, toggling in-game menu, pausing game, game state change to in-game menu. So this is right? If we hit escape, yeah. So I think game state change to playing makes sense because we close the tech tree, but we also hit escape, so it brings us to this menu. If I hit escape now, then it tries to change it back to playing, which is correct. But then toggling in-game menu, in-game man. Okay. Weird. Okay, so we called toggle in-game menu. I see. There are a couple of places where we call that. Let's add to there and here. Okay, so there's only 2 places, and one is on resume pressed. Okay. So now what I want to happen is if I hit escape, we leave the pause menu. Okay. So what's happening here is that in UI.gd, we are detecting that escape was pressed and we're calling toggle in-game menu. So, and then toggle in-game menu is saying, hey, the current state is in-game menu. No, it's not. It's playing. Why is it playing? What changed the game state to playing? Right? Because we changed the game state to playing, and then we called toggle in-game menu, that paused the game, which was already paused, and set the game state back to in-game menu. So what changed the current state to playing? Something in pause menu? No. What are all the places where game state.playing occurs? So in the camera, we check it. So what I'm looking for is something where we are assigning or calling set game state. Okay, that's not applicable. We're not visiting this. Save slot selection, scenario selection, tech tree. Ooh, let's add a logging line here. It can't be this because it's already closed, but I'll leave it. I'll put that there. We have a bunch of tests that we can ignore. And then game manager. Right, so something happening in game manager. So toggle in-game menu. That's the state to playing in a couple of ways. I don't know. Game state changed to playing. Current state is not equal to new state. So what calls set game state? A bunch of stuff in scenarios, but this is the like main menu. This one sets it to playing if we start a specific scenario, but that's not what's happening here. This is where we're at. Scenario select, tech tree, bunch of tests. And then in game manager, there are two places where we set the game state to playing, which are right here. So I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of places. Maybe let me try reloading the game. One more time. Go to our test scenario. Reproduce the situation, right? So game state changed to in-game menu. So we're in the right state. The UI reflects that state. Everything is correct. But what happens is I hit escape. Okay, so the last time I tested this, I must not have reloaded after I made the last change. Tech tree closing tech tree UI. So that UI, that button that's bound to escape, is still getting triggered, even though it's not visible. And so it's overriding. It's setting us back to playing. This should only be if game manager current state is in tech tree. If we're in the tech tree and we're trying to close this, we should switch back to playing. Now maybe it's really feeling like I should do a proper like finite state machine thing for this, because I'm like encoding all this transition stuff in various places versus being like, here are the states and here's how you can transition between them, and here are the labels of the transitions, and then you call it, you say this event happened and that causes a transition. Like centrally managing this is a way to prevent bugs, like the thing that is happening. But yeah, there we go. Okay, and we can do this, and we can do this, and I can even open the pause menu and then hit Y. Now, should it be the case that if I hit the pause menu, I hit Y, I hit Y again, and I no longer have a pause menu? One would think that if I'm in the pause menu, I somehow hit Y to bring up the tech tree. If I leave the tech tree, I should go back to the pause menu. That's not happening. This is where like that kind of finite state machine stuff could come in. But this is fine. This does what I want. And that's enough for now. So let's open a PR. Shortcut for tech tree is really the distillation of what we've done here. Yep. So we'll publish that branch. We'll get a pull request going. And then we're going to take a break here in a minute. And when I come back, we're going to work on some sound effects. Let me get this PR going before we do that. What is Copilot going to say? Usually faster than this. This might take a minute. There we go. Beep boop. Yep. Yeah, refactors how the tech tree UI is accessed and managed in the game. Instead of opening from the pause menu, it's now directly toggled from gameplay. Yep, that's it in a nutshell. All right, so I'm gonna take a break here for like 3 minutes, stretch my legs, get up out of this chair. When I return, I think it's time for some more sound effects, some beep boops. So